Hey YouTube, this is Jared with Omnivore Bladeworks, and I'm going to show you how I put the handles on a Anubis tomahawk. This one I just had to do some refitting because I didn't dehorn the corners of the tang enough, and the reveal on the handle was a little too much, so it didn't feel quite right. So I had to go back and deburr and then recoat the whole thing. I'm using a new product from Cerakote. It's called Elite Series. It's a smoke color, and I've got a quart of that, and I have a quart of the concrete, and then I've got some more burnt bronze and regular grade, and I got some bright purple. I need to get a shaker so I can keep these coatings shook up so they don't settle out. It's kind of a pain in the butt to have to shake them every week by hand. Anyway, so what I do here is I take some red Loctite, Permatex brand, permanent thread blocker, and I put it on one side of the screw, and that basically makes a 1/2 of a sex screw. These are stainless steel, sourced from Mutual Screw Company online, and they're just the 7/16 inch long, 832 threaded barrel nut. And then I have the 832 screws, which are about, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch long, and they go in there one side. And then I take my blue Loctite, not quite permanent thread locker, and put some of that on the other side, and I always put the permanent side in from the same side as the Possum Track logo, which is the left side of the tomahawk. And the actual indexing holes are the top hole and the bottom hole, and then this middle one too. And then the other two are in the middle, are just intermediate, and they do not contact the tang at all. So you could hide stuff in there if you wanted to, maybe fishing line or fishing hooks, or who knows, cyanide capsules. I don't know if you can get those or not. Probably can't get those very easily. So then I mate the handle together, and these holes are all positioned on my CNC router, and the profiles done on the CNC router. And then I go back with handheld routers, and I do the contouring. Boy, it's hard to look through the camera and operate a screwdriver. Do the contouring with a roundover bit and a 45-degree chamfer bit and a custom ellipsoid cutter that I had made. So normally I'm using two hands with this job, but I forgot my tripod adapter for this stupid smartphone. And these Tiha tools, screwdrivers, are very handy. I have a huge assortment of them for all kinds of things, and I put them on my wall. I got slotted head, I got Torx drive, I got Allen head. I have used this one more often than everything because it's the 3/32 hex. So for all my assembly work, I'm using these guys. Sometimes you end up with a little misalignment, but what you end up doing there is you get one side started, or you use a pin punch, or you loosen up the other side a little, and then you can get it back into alignment. Another thing that I do when I'm getting tomahawks ready to ship is I sharpen them, and most of the tomahawks I've been making lately, I've got my underhook bevel cut on one side, and not the other. So you can see there's a compound bevel there, and on this side there's pretty much nothing. So what I'm doing is, on the beveled side, prior to Cerakoting, I'm going in and I'm putting the carbide, tungsten carbide coating on that surface. So that should be an edge. Don't ever touch this side. If you're going to sharpen it, only sharpen this side. And so you just touch it up with a little ceramic rod, a gray or a white one, and that should touch up your underhook edges. On this one in particular, because it had a slight geometry problem on the spike end, I went ahead and sharpened this spike on both sides. And it's kind of mean, but I don't ever sharpen underneath the spike. It says I don't want it cutting into the lock bar. So only sharp part is right there, from about right there to right there, and then from here to there. And I leave the beard kind of dull too, because that's just asking for trouble if that's too sharp. It serves a purpose in a combat role or utility role without being so sharp. Basically I need two hands now. So that was the video about assembling handles. Red Loctite on the left, and then blue Loctite on the right. And that way, if you want to take your handles off, take them off from the right side first. Alright, see you next time.